Hi, this is Amy Rice with my Module 13 reflection for Introduction to Instructional Technology. The first question, it says, after reviewing the copyright and fair use websites, which areas surprised you the most as breaking copyright laws and for not meeting fair use criteria? I guess there weren't any specific ones that I was surprised about as far as like the material went over. The thing I was surprised about most was how the laws are so vaguely written. I was always in the impression that laws were very clear, what you could do and what you couldn't do and those kinds of things, fairly cut and dry. And from what the material said, the laws are intentionally fairly vague, so that way people can kind of have creative use, that there's lots of wiggle room, I guess, which can kind of be good but kind of be bad. I mean, if there's wiggle room, then how far is too far and what is okay and not okay? There's not a clear... It just seems like there was a lack of definite guidelines, I guess, which maybe I just didn't really understand the material, but that's kind of what I got out of it. So nothing law-wise really surprised me. It was just the lack of clarity, the lack of specifics, those kinds of things. The next one, what examples have you experienced where educators have broken copyright laws or fair use policies? Is it really a big deal? The one I could think of, and I think it probably because it just has happened fairly frequently, like last month, I think. We're a really small school, and every two, maybe three times a year, we have one of our staff will get all the little girls together, like in the elementary school, and teach them these dances to go with like these popular songs. Like she's the dance instructor for the high school girls as well, and so she'll get these cutesy little songs, and the girls will meet and they'll practice, and they'll go out onto the court or the fields at like halftime of like a football game or basketball game or whatever, and they'll dance to these little songs. And the music she has, it is literally a CD of her own personal use in her own personal CD player. So if I'm reading this right, that would technically be considered inappropriate use. People, they do have to pay. I mean, it's for a high school basketball game or high school football game, so people have to pay to get in there to see it. At no time are the artists and the companies who make and produce the music, are they acknowledged? To my knowledge, there's no, she doesn't get permission or anything, I guess. And so I guess I would consider that a violation. Is it a big deal? I guess, again, it kind of depends on who you ask. I mean, for just a regular community person who comes to, watch a football game and see little girls dance, no, of course not. It's not a big deal at all. If you're, the artist who made the music, if you're the people who wrote the music, you spent months and months writing this music and recording it and then producing it and then getting it out for the masses to buy, technically they could take an issue with that. I mean, they're not getting acknowledged for their work. They're not getting compensated for their time and their effort and everything into producing this. And so to them, maybe it is a really big deal. I know, if I spent months and months making something and it was just put out for the world and I didn't get the least bit of acknowledgement that, hey, Amy Rice made this, Amy Rice worked to produce this, then yeah, I'd be a little bit ticked off, I guess. Sorry, my dogs are barking because a plastic bag is blowing down the street, so I apologize. Okay. Um, anyway, so as far as it being a big deal, I guess it really just depends on who you're talking to and what the purpose of it was and that kind of thing. It's kind of an opinion, I guess. Then question number 3. How did you score on the fair use quiz from the website, and what questions surprised you? With this one, I kind of cheated a little bit. I actually took the quiz beforehand, before I read any of the material, just to kind of get an idea. Like, I wanted to know what I knew before I read the material. And I have to say, I actually did really, really poorly. I think I got like a 41 or 45% or something like that, which is really, really bad. So then I went through the material and everything, and then I took it again, and I got like an 85, which is way better, and I'm totally okay with that. So I learned a lot. So I guess one of the questions that surprised me and was a question about the professor at the university in California, how he shared the program with all of his students, and then the school got sued, but then they won because the ruling was that they couldn't sue the state school, but the ruling didn't address the ethical issue with the case. That one surprised me a little bit, because I guess I didn't realize you couldn't sue a state school. I mean, like, public schools, like high schools and all different kinds of public schools are sued all the time. And so I guess I don't really... Sorry. I guess I don't really understand what the difference was. I was a little bit confused by that. That one surprised me a little bit. So, yeah, but I obviously learned a lot. This kind of stuff is really intimidating to me. It's so... At first I thought it was just there were so many rules and so specific laws and kind of things, and now I know that it's like the exact opposite, and it's so vague and so open to interpretation and everything that it's intimidating, but just in the opposite kind of way, because now it's like, well, now I don't know... I'm more aware of what I don't know now. So, yeah, that's something that I'm a little bit nervous about, but that's okay. I've got a little bit of time. So yeah, this is my reflection. I hope everyone has a great week, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.